These past few weeks, there have been cheating allegations within the Valorant community directed at a certain Filipino creator named Mika Daime. Currently playing in the background is the clip where majority of players and even pros are convinced beyond a shadow of a doubt that she is using an aimbot, even if Riot has already stated that she is not using any sort of hack in this particular instance. Some people have even gone as far as analyzing the clip frame by frame to prove the presence of foul play. In this video, I will also investigate the clip, break it down, and share my conclusions based on my comprehensive experience in gaming, live streaming technologies, and programming. Before anything else, let's establish some facts. The stream was running at 720p 30 frames per second, and the game was rendering between 100 and 200 frames per second. Now, just from those two data points alone, I can already see two problems. There is a lot of information lost by only streaming at 30 FPS, and there's a big chance that the stream may end up with frame stuttering because of having a huge variance in game FPS. With that in mind, let's look at the frames right before the infamous snap. Make sure to pay attention to the timecode here, as this is a critical part in the discussion. As I scrub through the timeline, you can see that some frames are duplicated. This means that the broadcasting software failed to produce the current frame in time, so it repeated the previous one in order to maintain a stable 30 FPS stream. This symptom continues leading up to the snap, which is actually the reason for the suspicious-looking flick. Because of the frame repeating itself, it looks like the mouse traveled really far in one go, when in fact it just didn't show the full movement. You can even see that the ADS deployment animation of the Spectre is jerky as well. Here's a side-by-side comparison of how the animation should look versus Mika's clip. There is clearly an entire frame missing versus the clip from the training range. One more thing is that the crosshair didn't even lock on to Cypher's head at all, and he died because he walked into the line of fire as shown here. Let's check out an actual aimbot clip posted by Valorant Undercover. When breaking it down frame by frame, you can clearly see that it is not similar at all to Mika's clip, as the crosshair accurately locks onto the head. Now, some may argue that there are aimbots that are designed to avoid detection by making mistakes and that Mika was using one of them. I highly doubt that, because those types of aimbots look more like aim assist and are designed to drift the crosshair smoothly to the nearest hitbox to avoid detection, and will never insta-snap all the way to the opposite side of the enemy because that looks unnatural and makes no sense at all. Let's move on to another clip of Mika that I checked out where her crosshair had another snapping incident. At first glance, it looks like your typical aimbot again, but once we check out each frame, you'll see that the kill registration happens when the crosshair wasn't even near the opponent's head. The reason the kill happened when the crosshair wasn't even aiming at Jett's head could be one of two things: a lucky shot due to recoil, or client-server desync due to lag. As for the crosshair locking onto the head after the kill registration, that's easily explained by typical micro adjustments during aiming, as aimbots do not snap onto dead targets at all. To sum it all up, I don't believe that Mika used cheats in the two clips I reviewed in this video. I had initially thought that she was guilty, but after I looked deeper into the matter, the data contradicted my previous impressions and I can only conclude that she's innocent, at least in these instances. Of course, I am open to analyzing other clips if my time permits. Just link me their original source at the highest quality possible so there's no room for doubt, since as I demonstrated earlier, low-quality clips can be misinterpreted and wrong conclusions can easily happen with bad data. Before I end the video, I'd just like to remind everyone that while wrongdoers deserve to be brought to justice, the presumption of innocence takes precedence in every instance. Only the authorities, which is Riot in this case, can pass judgment on the accused, and they already did. There is no witch to be hunted here, and anyone who is taking this opportunity to create controversial content at the expense of someone who has been declared innocent should be ashamed of themselves for their lack of common courtesy, breeding, and professionalism, especially the ones who claim to be subject matter experts when they clearly have no credentials to back them up. Cheating at games is definitely despicable, but cyberbullying is much worse and is an actual crime in the Philippines. So put down your pitchforks and stay classy, my dudes. Until next time.